Hi, I'm Terry Fowler with the Philadelphia District of the Corps of Engineers, and I'd like to tell you a little bit about the difference between structural and non-structural flood risk management measures. First, we'll talk about structural measures. Generally speaking, when there's a flood, the river water moves towards the structures on land and then has the ability to flood them. However, if we introduce a structural measure, which is designed by definition to keep the river water away from you and the structure and keep you out of harm's way. For instance, if we build a levee here, then the water comes up against the levee and is back in the river. Some other examples of structural measures that we have are backflow preventers. You can also have a flood wall, which is similar to a levee. You can modify the channel in some cases. And you can also come up with some kinds of detention for flow or dams. Okay, so the structural measures we just discussed are designed to keep the water away from you, away from the structures. On the other hand, non-structural measures are designed to keep you out of the water. Hence, when there's a flood, the water can keep going into the floodplain. However, in the case of what we have here, these elevated houses, or structure elevation as we call it, the structures and the content remain dry and the water is able to move within the floodplain. Another example we have is of structure relocation, where you take a structure from lower down and move it to higher ground. So it's also out of the floodplain and out of harm's way. Some other examples we have of non-structural measures would be structure acquisition, which is the purchase of the structure, and so the total removal of it. Floodproofing of property, which can occur either, it can be called dry floodproofing or wet floodproofing. You can protect your utilities in different ways. There can be a building of what's known as a freestanding barrier, also known by many people as a ring levee. So, we have structural and non-structural measures of flood risk management. Structural is designed to keep the water away from you, and non-structural is designed to keep you away from the water.